each year a car depreciates at a rate of 10% of its value at the end of the previous year. So what was that? We wrote that the other day. We wrote it in our summary sheet or on our titles. When I said it's 10% off the new total every year, is that flat rate depreciation or reducing balance? Flat rate's the same amount. Yes, good. It's reducing balance. So where they said off its value of the previous year, that was their way of saying that it's reducing balance. So you know which formulas you need to go to. So you need to go to that. And they told me they are. So we go down here to reducing balance formula. And they said the car was bought for $50,000. After how many years will the car be worth $25,000? So this is an end question. So I'm probably going to use the nth term formula. So if I wrote the nth term formula here, which is this formula again. So I don't know what R is, so I'm going to write the formula for R in there as well, because I will be able to substitute in. So we want to know when the value is 25,000. So I'm going to put it, when is it that? I know the rate. What was the rate? 10, and it's over 1 again. To the power of n, I don't know. I want to know how many years, but what was my original value was 50,000. So off I go. What can I do when I have something like that written up with just one thing I don't know? I can do solve. Good. So let's go down to our calculator again and menu 3-1 to get the solve. 25,000 equals, pop in the brackets, 1 minus control divide to get that little fraction, 10 over 100, close that bracket, the power of n, and then times by 50,000, and we go comma n. So it said that it's going to be 25,000 after 6.6 years. So if I went to 6 years, it won't be that value yet. So how many years am I going to say? 7. Good. We've got to go up. All right. With this one, this difference equation, so it doesn't matter. We know there's the rule of how to get the next term. They said we start with 2, generates a sequence. So I've got 2. Here's how the rule to get the next one. So let's just do it recursively. So we start with 2, press enter. The rule says to times by 3, the one before, and then minus 4. So minus 4, press enter. My next one's 2. So what's the next one going to be? 2. So the answer, A. So you can just do them on your calculator. If you don't, and you don't have to get confused, just pop it in and see how you go. All right, the next question. Jane borrows $4,000 from the bank. So we like to put, this is our start. She's borrowing. When he comes to repay the money in full at the end of 5 years, he owes the bank that much. The annual simple interest. So we know it's simple interest. And we want to know the rate. So let's go back to simple interest. Now, I have a value for after 5 years. So I'm going to use the nth term formula. Okay, I know. All right, so we know that the value after 5 years, so V5 was 5,100. Now, we know it started off at 4,000. Now, we know that it was 5. This is a 5 years. Now, times. Now, we don't know what D is, but I can see there's a formula for D. So I'm just going to use that because in that formula for D is the R, which is what I need to know. So I could go little r times 4,000 because that's what VO was. So you can see what I'm doing is this bit here is that D in the flat, in the simple interest formula up there. So instead of writing D, I use the formula for D. All right, so then what we do, we can do solve again. So, menu 3-1, I'm going to solve. I'm going to go 5120 equals 4,000 plus 5 times. So if I just write out everything the way I've just copied it, you'll never go wrong. You just write exactly what you see on your, that you've copied the formula. You've always got your graphics calculator, so that won't be a problem. So comma R is what I wanted to find out. Wait a minute. This is done wrong. Sorry. See, this doesn't look right. That's not how I've got it on the page. I've got plus 5 times, oops. Which one's times? Yeah, it should be 5.6. There's something, I'm typing something wrong on the calculator there. It's a bit small, I can't see. All right, so there we go. So we've got that one. Let's go through this one. So a snooker table at a community center was purchased for 3,000. Okay, after the purchase value, the snooker table using flat rate. So we told me to use flat rate. Here's after n years. Okay, so first question was, what is the annual rate of, what is the annual value of D? So how much is it going down by every year? Just reading it. Here's the formula for every year. How much is it going down by? 180. Use recursion to show that it's V2. So unless you did it like this, you would not have got it. All right, so you start with your 3,000. Do it on your calculator if you like. All right, so we want it minus 180. We get 2820. Then you go 2820 minus 180, and you get 2640. So unless you had that all written out, you won't get the mark. After how many years will the value of the snooker table first fall before 2,000? You've already done it on your recursively on your calculator. So I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 years. Yeah, just had to copy that out. They now changed to reducing balance method. And they said after 1 year, the value of the table was this. Then after 2 years, it was that. Show that the annual rate. So here's where they're saying show that the annual rate of depreciation is this. So on your formula sheet, you should have a formula to show for this. So I'm just going to pause it because, all right, so you have on your formula sheet, it's at the back. I don't have it open, but it says finding the little r. If you go to reducing balance, it says this, 1 minus big R times PPY times 100. Okay, so if you need to work out what big R is. So if I go to reducing balance here, I could work that out. So we could probably work out the big R using these two. All right, so if we go, all right, so we could say 1 minus 0.92 times 1 times 100 equals 8%. That one's a little bit more work. You won't get that in year 11. It probably show it differently, but we'll just leave that one like that. But you guys need to know where this is on your formula sheet. Okay, now it said write a recurrence relation after n years if you are using the reducing balance method. So I go over here, over to this side of the page, and I can see, all right, I've got to write a recurrence relation. Recurrence relation, it's said to use S though. So we go SO. What's the original value of the snooker table? It was 3,000. And then we've got to write an n+1 rule, which if I look, you have to put R, which we already worked out was 0.92. And we times by, oh, not VN, they want SN. Sometimes they just change the letter. But we often talk about V for value. All right. How many questions is it? Oh, we're nearly finished. Good. Question 10. This is in the short answer. So in year 12, you get multi-choice questions and you get short answers. So if we have a look, see how they just want you to step it out recursively. So most of you got this right. You just had to pop in. You got your new value. Then you said it was 7,1, the value before, minus 3,375. And what did that one end up being? I can't be, so what's 7,1,625 minus 3,375? So 6,8,250. So that's pretty easy. In your exams though, we're going to make you write the whole step out. So make sure you get that. Last question. Alex is mobile mechanic. He uses a van to travel to repair customer repairs. Alex van depreciates using the flat rate method. The value after n years can be modeled by this recurrence relation. How many dollars does the value of the van depreciate each year? How much does it go down each year? Yeah, easy. Just reading it. Calculate the annual flat rate. That's little r. Go back up to flat rate. You have, you can use the D formula because you know it goes down by 3,375. You're trying to work out what R is and you know what VO is. So what can I do if I've got an equation like that? Solve, comma, R. And what does that end up being? Okay, and we end up, we end up with R equals 4.5%, so there's the answer. So that's done.